Grand Rising, Mi5, my people, my family, my tribe. I hope everyone is having a happy Tuesday today. And today is a very different episode of what we've done in the past because me and the guest are in person. I'm with Mr. Nick Pants. You can see him right now, but that's how he made it. We're making it. We're live and direct in real life here. And I'm actually really excited just because this might be the only in-person interview or show that we do in a long time. Just because at the moment, all of our guests, all the members of Mi5, we're all in different states. This is an international movement. And so it's kind of hard for us to be in the physical form all the time, right? And so this is kind of a special case because me and Nick have happened to know each other for a while and we live locally. So yeah, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Up? I'm good, man.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. So it's awesome that we've been able to actually maintain a solid brotherhood type friendship for literally, and we talked about this the other day, dude, 6 years.
Yeah, it's
which
crazy.
For me is a quarter of my life.
Yeah.
It's literally exactly a quarter of my life.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what happens when you're because for the people who don't know, we fell in love in the woods together in a Boy Scout camp, right? That's the story, right?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
totally.
And ever since then, yeah.
The rest is history, man. Yeah, but no, on a serious note, we actually. So what's crazy is that I knew Nick's brother because of high school. I've known Leo for a long time before I knew you. And then we were at this meeting for our Camp Winton, right?
Yeah.
There's the summer of 2016.
16 or 17.
I think it was 15 it was 16.
Yeah.
Not as early as 15. And we just literally sat next to each other, or we started hanging out. I don't even remember what happened, but for some reason we started kind of talking about, who we know or something.
And I had met you already before at some other thing. And then you were like, oh, and you saw my name on a roster list.
Yeah.
And then you were and then you were like, oh, you're Leo's brother. I'm like, yeah. And then I don't know. You didn't, and then we didn't even talk about working at camp together.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we're at that meeting, and then
literally, bro,
you're there, and you're like, what's up? And then we're like, oh yeah,
dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What the heck? Yeah. And then the rest is history, really, because once we found out that we lived in the same area, it was we're hanging out.
Yeah.
And then I introduced you to the friend group, and I just went from there. And what's crazy, and this is not surprising because people who are on the same frequencies tend to kind of stay together the longest, but all those people that we used to hang out with, for the most part, are not really in our lives. Some of them
just
are
less than a handful. Yeah,
literally less than a handful. And that just kind of it goes to show even more that when you start moving up as a person, when you start working on yourself, those people, you can't really wait for them. You're just going to start to move past them. And if they don't break past that layer, they're not coming with. And that's it's kind of how it is. Honestly, it doesn't make me sad. I don't really.
No, yeah.
It's just how it is,
It's just there's a certain point that it got to where it was I don't know if your audience know, but this man right here was a crazy motherfucker, I'll tell you what. And he moved a town away, and he met all the misfits of whatever park he was hanging out at. And I feel you gotta go through that phase in your life.
Yeah. Took a complete 180 on my life at some point. Which for anyone that hears my story, you've heard me talk about all about that. But the main thing that I wanted to bring you on to talk about is if you saw the description for this thing on social media, you would have seen that Nick is a musician. He does producing. He's produced music for himself and other hip hop artists all around the Sacramento area and like even in Portland. And that didn't just happen, right? And I've known Nick for, like I just said, 6 years. I literally ever since we've started being friends, music was like a huge part of our friendship. And part of that evolved so much over that 6 years in so many, it seemed like after a certain point, it was like, just pretty, I'm going to say average. Like, it was just like, just kind of like, this man makes music. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom, it blew up. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. My friend just made this, bro. What? So, but like, what, like, I mean, I know you've been playing music for literally like your whole life. I've seen your family videos and stuff of you being like a tiny kid, just making music and stuff. Like, is it something that you always felt like you needed to do, or what kind of drew you to that passion?
I mean, like, I don't know. It was kind of random. It was just like, it was just like something that like no one told me to do it. Like, like my dad's like a musician, just like musical family. Like everyone in my family either appreciates music or plays an instrument.
Right.
So, but like it was never like, oh, like you're gonna learn piano, you're gonna learn guitar, listen to this band. It's literally just like, okay, we go on a road trip. My dad plays some like, he just plays a bunch of music, bunch of different types of music. Like he's in the jazz, he was in the punk, just like electronic stuff, just like super weird stuff, all the popular stuff. Like, but like
I've heard,
he has a vast variety of things that he likes, and like that definitely shed on to me. And so like of course like music was just a big part of me, like just growing up. But nobody told me to do it. I just like literally one day, we just had this like little crappy little keyboard at my house, and then like just went on YouTube and then started like, it's like this thing called I forget what the program is called, but it literally like there'll be like notes that like drop onto the keys. And,
I know what you're talking about.
They like, it basically teaches you how to play the song. And so I pretty much just learned like random like theme songs to like movies and different stuff like that. That was like mostly what I was like interested in, was like video game soundtracks and like movies.
Hell yeah.
And like so I started learning that, and then like pretty much from there like I was just like, oh yeah, like I just I like it. And like I had like a pretty like good ear. Like I could just listen to, I just like would start listening to songs and I would just like figure out the notes by myself. There's a certain point where I didn't like need to like use any like tutorials completely. Like I could just figure it out. And like, I don't know, I think my dad saw me doing it and he was like, what the hell?
That's good for you.
He was just like, that's crazy. And he kind of like, he was just like, you're pretty good at this. And then like, because before it was like, oh, I wanted to be just like my dad, like every like little kid. It's like, oh yeah, I want to like, because my dad is a web designer. Mm-hmm. It's like, I want to be a web designer and just work on computers and stuff. And I mean, I guess I work on computers, but for a different reason. But but like, and then eventually like, I was like in choir for like a year. So I kind of like learned how to like sing. And then I joined band, like, I think like, it was like 4th and 5th grade. So when I started band, and then I did it all the way until like junior year. There was a certain point where I quit. But, so and I started playing bass at first, and I switched over to saxophone, played tenor saxophone, then bari saxophone. And between all of that, I was still like focusing on piano. I ended up like taking like lessons, and then I taught guitar myself. So that's just like, as far as instrumentally, that's how I got into playing instruments. But like, I think there's like a certain point in middle school. It was like that I was using GarageBand and I was just making songs off there. Just like it's interesting because like when you're starting out, you don't give a shit like what you're making.
Right.
Like you think about like when you're like a little kid and you're like someone just hands you a fucking like just paper and crayon. It's just like gives a fuck. Like oh yeah, this is and you make like in your world you made the fucking like coolest shit ever. And like I mean that's kind of how it was when I got like GarageBand. It was just like I can like record everything now. Like everything that I like think of is gonna be like recorded and it's gonna be like a song and it was just like all over the place, just like how it would be with like a little kid with a fucking crayon.
Right.
So, and then like I always like I just like always was into like I didn't ever know that like the sound that I have now, like all my songs that are released now, is never like it was never planned that it was gonna sound like that. It's like I actually just like instead of like it got to a certain point where I was like, okay, I actually want to get good. And instantly when you're like, I want to get good, let me just copy like the things that like my favorite artists do.
Your inspirations.
Yeah. And you know, there is like you're always gonna tap into your inspiration, but I learned pretty quickly that like just copying like just felt like shit and I wasn't into it and like it didn't work. It didn't work out.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. There's like a certain point where it was just like I got so tired of like trying to sound like something. So I kind of tried to revert back to like that feeling of just being like, I'm just here to like whatever fucking happens. And I just ended up like kind of just like making like a certain sound. And it was just like whatever I wanted. I didn't need to like look up tutorials. I knew like as much as I knew. And it was just like, let me just like throw that down. It's like I'll have it be loud as I want, as like ugly as I want. And you know, so like, yeah, it's just like I never expected to be making the music that I'm making. It was like all really, I don't know, it was very gut feeling. So like to me, it's like I guess I would say like I like my music, but it's not really good or bad to me. I don't really think about it like that. It's literally just like it is what it is. Like
it's an expression.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just like I'm expressing myself, so nobody can tell me that it's good or bad because it's like to me it's all real and like it feels real and it feels like something that matters to me personally. And yeah, and that's like that's what inspired me to talk about you and your music career is that the music that you make now is, or let me rephrase this, DD Death, which by the way is Nick's most recent album. Check it out on Spotify, all the musical platforms. DD Death is so I've heard music that you've made that's way different than DD Death. Like your spectrum of what you can make is so vast, but there was a reason that you made DD Death, right? Like that was something that you needed to finish, from what I understand. Yeah. And we've talked about this for a little bit, and like just like I had like I've always been like making different songs, but there's just sometimes where I just make a song where it would stick and I'd be like, this is the one like that I need to stick onto this, but like it has to be compiled with like a bunch of other songs. And like some of those beats on there I made like let's think I'm 19 right now. I'm about to turn 20. I graduated high school like a year ago. So like some of those beats I made when I was like in 8th grade, freshman year, like all through all the years and like until now. And that's like, dope. What the heck? I didn't even know that. Yeah. So like, or at least just like bits and pieces. It's from everywhere. So like I think that like some things just like take a really long time, and I had this like feeling and like vision for it for like so long, and like just like, and I'd have been writing lyrics for it forever. I just like was never confident enough to like actually like record my own voice, and like think that like I have like a vision of how I want to do it, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And it was just like, I mean, like the recording process, I've gotten to a point now where it's like I'm comfortable. I know like my voice. But it was at a certain point where it was like every single recording session, it was like fucking like it was just like a complete mental breakdown. Like it was just every single time, it was just like you're fucking the worst. You're trying to be like, you think that like you can do this, like you're the worst. Like you're not good at this. And it was just like pushing through like that doubt. Like you're gonna like that's just like how you're gonna think sometimes.
Can I ask
like,
you a question really quick?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's in that exact same situation?
So yeah, just like push through the doubt. Like if you want to make something, like it doesn't matter. Like your voice is your voice, and like your sound is your sound. It's whatever comes natural to you is gonna feel the best. So it's like maybe like you can't compare yourself. Like there's nothing that you can compare yourself to.
That's right.
Because
everyone is the most unique. Everyone is is the unique version of what a human is, right? Mm-hmm. There's no one like you. There's not supposed to be anybody like you. You're not supposed to be like anybody else. And you are going to always be the best person at being who you are. Like no one in the world is as good as being Nick Vargas as Nick Vargas is, right? Yeah. And so there's no point for you to try to be like, you know, another musician or whatever, exactly like them, because we all have our inspirations, right? That's where we pull a lot of our like why we like just motivation to do it. It's like that's where we pull a lot of our passion. We wouldn't have been passionate without hearing that person's passion. You know, a lot of why people start doing these things, I feel like, is because of people who are loud about their passions. The straight facts, bro.
Yeah, like as far as like inspiration goes, like people showing it's literally like it's not about like this is how you should do it completely. It's showing that like you can do it. You can do this. Like you can be someone, like if you want to do music, you can do music, because look at this person, he can do music. And it's like, but how did he do that? By just like literally being himself completely or herself completely. Like I don't know, there's like a lot of inspirations, but you know, like, and a lot of like inspirations for me are not even like really musicians either. Like I mean, we were just talking about him earlier, like David Cho. David Cho is like a #1 inspiration for me because, and I have like a multitude of reasons, but he, so when I got into him, I was like pretty like young. I saw his like, he has like a Vice show where he like hitchhikes across like America.
Best ever.
Literally best show ever.
Shout out to Thumbs Up America on YouTube by Vice. Watch that.
Yeah.
So freaking good.
Yeah.
It is amazing. You will be explicit parental advisory warning, but dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a fire show that's really not that long and it's action packed, it's so real, the authenticity is like unmatched. Yeah. It's so good.
But yeah, like someone like him, he was like the first person to ever like that I ever saw that was just like there's no rules to like life. Like you can do it however you want. It's just like about like persistence and like how are you like just like you being yourself, like it just takes like trying and like I don't know, like, and also it was interesting because I have been following him ever since I was like 13. And I like recognize like that at a certain point, like I've seen like how much of like how like he says certain things where I'm like, yeah, that's like not good. And I don't agree with that. And I've seen how much he's like grown over the years to where like sometimes your inspirations can be like an example of what not to do.
Yeah.
Like they can inspire you in some ways and they can inspire you not to do some things. And he's always been so honest about like how he's fucked up, like what he's done good. And like there's just like and you know, all your heroes are you know, have like there's two sides to them. Like there's the side that you see usually, like where it's like this guy's fucking awesome. Like he makes art, he makes music, he's a public speaker, and he has all these amazing things to say. I don't know, maybe he's not like a good father at all. Maybe you didn't see his look, you know, like like maybe like maybe there's more going on than what you think.
Of course.
And like that's something you need to realize a lot too. Yeah.
Well, that's just that realization is realizing that everyone is human.
Yeah.
And man, we make a lot of mistakes, but that is what life is about. Yeah. And man, it's really special when you kind of realize that and then also apply it to your view of your perception of other people, because it allows you to not judge people, which makes your life honestly better. Because when you don't judge other people, you tend to not judge yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to ask, you mentioned your dad, right? And how you didn't want to like be just like him, but I know your dad and he's a cool guy. He's a really good guy. What's one of the most profound or impactful life lessons that you've learned from that man over the years? Over the years of your life, because he's known you.
Hey, he's known me my whole life. It's crazy. Even longer than we've known each other.
Dude, this guy's OG.
Yeah, for real. I mean, like, I guess just like I guess like kindness and stuff. Like he's like very kind man. He knows how to like, you know, like, and just be like how to be supportive. Also just like yeah, I guess like he just cares about his family and stuff. And like
he's a family man for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think about that stuff too much, but it's like you should, wherever your family is, just like you're gonna like, whether like you're like, you know, doorstep baby or not, like you're gonna like, you have to like create a family. You gotta create a community of people that like you know you trust. And like, I don't know, my dad is very like, finds that very important. Like
that tribe mentality, bro.
Yeah, it keeps connected with people. So yeah,
that's why I open up the show. That's why, and me saying like Mi5, my people, my family, my tribe. That's not like, that didn't originate from the show. That originated from me just being in the chat and feeling a strong sense of community, because your tribe is your family in a sense. You know, back in the days, your tribe was what you had, and like you good chances you had your family in your tribe, but the tribe stuck together. The tribe was like a brotherhood, or a sisterhood or something, you know, and everyone provided for each other. That's what a family is, bro. Crazy. Yeah. And that's really the vision for Mi5. Is it's not a place of ego. We don't make decisions out of ego. And we're always trying to check ourselves in that sense, because we want it to be the most authentic. We want it to be an extreme, a community based off authenticity and service to others. Honestly, it's pretty magical, and I can't wait to see how it is in the next 5-10 years. 10 years, crazy. We're gonna be doing so much stuff. It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, bro. So I do have a question for you here.
Okay.
What after living your whole life, or if you were
taken away from this reality, like tomorrow, what would you want to be known for? And then so answer that question in two ways. If you left tomorrow, what would you want to be known for? And let's say you live out your entire life and you live out your whole purpose and everything, you do everything that you have planned. What do you want to be known for in that sense? But yeah.
I mean, I try to like, I don't know, like, I'm having fun what I'm doing with music. So, but it's like, it's never been like a thing where it's like, I really like, of course, like I'm still like so in the beginning of my career, like, you know, like, but it's never been like a thing where it's like, for me, the most important thing is making connections with people. It's not really about like a bunch of random people knowing me. Mm-hmm. Of course, like I can, you know, profit off that, but
yeah, well, I mean, it's like for the people that do know you, what do you like want them?
No, yeah. Like that's what's important to me is just making those connections. And I just want to, I guess I want to like be remembered as like someone who like, I really care about like creating, just someone who cared about creating a community in some way. Because I mean, for people who don't know, I put together shows locally, just like show up places without any permission, just setting up
so awesome
generator and just playing music. And like, I mean, yeah, that's what I want to be known as, just like a, you know,
people together,
someone who brings people together.
Connector.
That's someone who I'd want to be remembered as. That'd be cool.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah,
bro. The show that you did in Auburn in like the canyon, it was literally like a canyon.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was cool. I just want to explain it for everyone. This man got a band from Portland, right?
Yeah.
A band from Portland was like, yo, I want to do this show. Bring your giant speakers, like the big concert speakers, and lights. Had a whole light setup, table with the whole sound setup, everything that you need to throw a concert, and got like 50 people to come.
Yeah.
Bro. Was so cool. That was like one of my favorite concerts that I've ever been to. And I've seen Young Gravy, Ski Mask, freaking JPEG Mafia. Probably a lot of people don't even know those names, but like to me, that's huge. But that one was probably one of the best, just because like all my friends were there. It was free, so everyone could come. Got to see my homie perform. I think that was like the first time.
That was my first performance. Also the first time I had ever put together a show. So shout out my homies, Godboat, great band from Portland, and Amulet, and solo act from Portland. So basically what happened, Wes from Godboat, he's the singer and producer. He just messages me. And he's like, yo, like cause like we kind of like, I didn't like really know him. I just had a friend who moved to Portland, who used to live down here. And he's like, yo, check out this band. Like you probably love them. He sends me this. And it's like a bunch of like crazy ass like remixes of like country songs and shit. And it's like the most weirdest shit I've ever heard. And then they like eventually came out with this like album where it was all original songs, and it was like literally my top, like it was my most listened to album.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your Spotify Rewind or whatever.
Yeah. And then he's just like, hey, like I know we were like, I know you know Dustin. Do you like and you're from Sacramento, so like, and we're going on tour down the West Coast.
That's dope.
So and I'm trying to set up a show, like, do you know where we could play? And I was like, to be honest,
yeah, that's so cool.
The thing is,
like, I do.
Yeah, I do, but like not at a venue. And then he was like, that's perfect. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I love, it's like, we love doing that. We like the DIY. I'm like,
That's so dope.
Fuck yeah, dude. This is like a dope ass band that I actually like really fuck with.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, man, we don't care that you don't know what you're doing at all. You've never done this before. You've never performed before.
God, but
yeah, they just heard a couple of my songs and were just like, hell yeah, like he's in the realm of what we're doing, just like weird music. And then like I was just like, well, I basically just wrote a list of like everything I could provide, which was provide an audience, most importantly. And then I could provide like some like a table and some lighting, and a generator. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but I don't have speakers, dude. I don't fucking have speakers.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, don't worry, we got a van and we're bringing down our like giant speakers. And perfect. They were just like, yeah, we'll just set up. And then like literally like this dude is fucking crazy. Wes is he's a madman. He there's this so the spot basically has a gate blocking it, and we were just like, well,
oh yeah,
and then we were like, well, you know, like we could probably carry everything down. And then they were just like, dude, these speakers are huge, like we can't carry them down. Like it like I mean, I guess we could, but it's gonna be it's gonna be ass. And then he's just like, he pulls out his power drill, and then goes up to one of the locks and just starts going, he breaks open the lock. It literally breaks open the lock and then just busts the fucking gate open and then drives his van down there.
It's like, hey, bro, we got a show to do. The show must go on.
Yeah. So they go down there, pull out all their speakers, pulls out the drums, all the equipment, and then just goes back up there and totally illegal. But nobody saw it. It was fine. And then like
talking about fictional events.
Oh yeah, fictional events. This is just a funny story. No, but yeah.
Yeah, bro, I made this up.
Yeah. No, yeah, and like literally it's so funny because like I didn't not know how the night was gonna go at all. I literally like no one had any reason to be like, other than just like my friends to like come see me. It's just like I'm just like a random fucking person. Like I come out with like a few songs, and but like the thing is that's great is that the spot that we were at was like this just like hub for just stoners, for like teenagers that were just trying to smoke. And then they just all see us down there and they're like, yo, what's going on? And like, they're like,
what's going on? My name's Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. And they come down and they're just like, what are you guys doing? Like, we're going to put a show together. And we're like, oh, hell yeah. And they start calling all their friends to come down. And then like,
so dope, bro.
On top of that, all my friends who knew me. And then like, I sent it to like some promotion page for Sacramento shows. And so I guess some people came because of that. And then like, yeah, and just people showed up, and then it was literally like it went perfectly.
Yeah,
and literally,
I agree. It
went perfectly.
It was perfect. And,
I mean, like, really, all of that was like, I didn't like doubt that it was gonna go wrong. I was like, this is going to happen. Like, I'm not gonna like. This band is awesome. Like, both the acts are awesome. I want to make a connection with them. And I want to like provide a space for them so they can perform, and so that there's like we can fucking finally do something in this town that has nothing at all,
zero,
and like especially for fucking kids. And we have all these kids coming out and like just like seeing all this music that you wouldn't even be able to see like I don't know, it was crazy, like super like just weird shit, and like. It was just dope. And then like but yeah, just like I just never doubted that it wasn't going to happen. I just like I always like kept that mindset that like I'm gonna make this happen. Like just like I don't know, I was just like fuck it, like it's not going to get shut down because fuck it, and I'm gonna do it anyways. So it's not gonna get shut down and we're gonna just do it. Like I don't know, I just really like I don't know what happened. It just like it ended up going really well. I've never done anything like that before.
Well,
yeah.
Honestly, bro, my favorite part I felt so proud of you at this moment. Right before you went up, you got on the mic. You were like, "This is just an example that you can make anything you want happen. Use the internet, use your resources, and you have all this potential that is there. You're not." And I was like, "Realize your potential."
Yeah.
I was like, "There's a lot of unrealized potential in this crowd." Potential. I was just like yelling and stuff. Because I was so hyped, bro. I was like, "Yeah, my man's doing it." Teaching them a lesson. Like, bro, this is literally a life lesson right now.
Yeah.
And also, I can't not say this. Like the reason why everything just went so perfectly, because you knew, bro. You had full belief. The universe was conspiring in your favor, bro. The universe was conspiring in your favor tenfold, simply because you and everyone involved believed that it would happen. Nothing can go wrong at that point.
Yeah.
And anything that does go wrong is only helping it more.
And it was crazy because at the end, I was playing like I played last, which was actually like not the plan at first. I was like, oh yeah, let the band that I think is really cool play last. And they were like, no, like we're like to everyone here, we're just random fucking people. And he was like, you need to play last because everybody knows you.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit, I didn't really think about that. And because like people will stay. But playing my last couple songs, we see like headlights come down the little roadway.
Oh yes, the coppers.
Yeah. So the cops were there, but they literally just stood there and waited for us for the show to end.
Music was too good.
I know. They saw how hype it was. They knew that. That's the thing. It's just like it was like we're not just like a bunch of like random kids just partying. It was like no, like we're just like
it was just for a reason.
We're here for a reason. It's like it's for art and it's for music and like I don't know. I just feel like even fucking cops will just shut down like parties, just like whatever, like car, get out of here. It's like even a fucking cop is like, okay, yeah, this is like an organized event. Like this isn't just like it's like honestly they're
like wait
they probably are supposed to be here.
Yeah, they're like wait, should we check the news right now?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dang, seems legit.
Yeah, no, yeah, and then like at the end they were just like, yeah, you guys gotta go, and then like the lighting shout out Rex. He was just like, well, you like my lights officer? And he's like, yep, it's pretty cool. And like they're totally down. They didn't give a shit. They're just like, well, the show's over now, so you guys can just leave. I'm like, yep, that's the plan. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, shout out Rex for real. Love that guy. Yeah, dude, that's just so dope. I mean, to speak on that more of the concept of literally, if you want to do something if you want to make anything happen, you can literally do it. Mi5, for example, we're like, we want to create a community of people that can have passive income, be their income, right? And also to where they can, a place where they can learn that being a millionaire is not about a 7-figure net worth. It's about a level of character. It's about, do you have are you on can your energy match having 7 figures? You know, like that's really what it is. And we were like, boom, now it's like this whole thing. We have a show, Mi5 show, bro. It's like we're doing stuff. We're literally doing stuff, and we're getting blessed because of it. And also one thing too is I started to go to networking events here recently, bro. It's like there's so many.
Yeah.
I've been going to like Florida and Las Vegas and you know, all these things where I would fly out and spend 3 days there or 4 days or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, they only do that stuff in, you know, Florida. That doesn't make sense. Like that's not true. I had to go to this one event where they were saying, hey, look up events in your area and go to them. I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing that? And so after that one event, I started to go to all these different networking events, and there's a bunch of cool people doing the events in Sac.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, you could literally do it and post on Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Random people will just be looking for cheap shows and will come.
Yeah.
Guarantee you. Especially if you make it free. Guarantee that. And so I went to this one where it's just this guy, he owns this like group called Black Business Clique, and the guy's super chill. He showed me by example how easy it is to do your own events. It's really easy. You just find a venue, go to networking events in your area and talk to those venues. That's it. And you find them and you pay them and you promote, and that's it. And you show up. Yeah. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Promote, show up, make it like so that people want to. And yeah, that's literally what it is. It's so easy.
Yeah. I mean, like and that's the thing about being, I know, I see what you mean by that, but being like a musician, like almost half the time, it's like why do I have to like venues, like a lot of times venues will just like they'll profit off it, but also profit off you, and then all you get is like, you're just like you're just promoting yourself and you're exposure. Yeah, everyone's like, all exposure is a good exposure, but it's like, I mean, like as a musician, it's like I like doing all this stuff. It's like I don't know how to like. It's like I feel like a lot of times you're slutting yourself out, like you're just whoring out your what you get, like your talent. It's hard to get.
Oh, like doing it for free.
Yeah, like you're doing a lot of shit for free, and that's all good. I'm not against that.
A good term for it. You're slutting it out.
Yeah, because like,
because just giving it to anybody.
Because I'm just like, because at that point I'm a slut. I'm not even a prostitute because the prostitute is paid.
Yeah, I don't have the pimp.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I don't exactly.
Yeah, it's too funny.
But it's like, yeah, like that's like the hard thing is just like, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I guess like if you're, I guess built for that, job, if you want being a musician to be your career, it's like you really do have to be built for it, because you have to like, it's like years of like dealing with like just like not getting like paid, not getting credit for your shit, like just like, and like everybody but you is gonna be getting paid basically, like, and like sometimes like, and I have gotten paid for certain things, but it's like it's pretty rare that happens. And some venues will literally make you like, pay just to use the space, which is like something I did, and like I paid like pretty much got no profit from it. Yeah. Like, because you don't know how many people are gonna come. Right. You could pay like collectively, like me and my friend collectively paid like $120. We split that and made like less than half in that profit. Right. And it's like at the end of the day, like, yeah, we had a good night, but basically all that was like a loss for me, but it did open some, a lot of doors. But I guess sometimes you gotta like
it's like progress, not perfection, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the reality of it is that like sometimes yeah, I mean, like you just gotta like, you want the exposure, so you just gotta do it that way. But I mean, like, we have the internet, so it's like that's all pretty easy. But it's like, for me, it's like I don't want to exist on the internet. I don't want to be like chronically online. Like for me, it's like if you don't fuck with my music just by listening to it, like just like off, like you're streaming it and you're just like, if you don't like that, then like more than half the time, people who didn't like give out my music to begin with, and they see me live, it's like a whole different experience. Yeah. And like for me, it's like I enjoy playing live, like more than like any. It's like the best thing ever.
Of course, yeah.
It's like
when you get to fully express your music.
Yeah, but there's plenty of people out there who don't do that at all, and they just like they are completely online. And like for me, it's just like music is to be like enjoyed with people.
For real, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I think that music is the ultimate connector of people, and that it has been literally for the entire existence of humanity.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be the last question that I ask you, and I feel like I could go on for a minute because it's pretty heavy. But how have you changed through your evolution of being a musician and then becoming a producer and in these shows and stuff? How have you developed and evolved and changed as a person? Like, what was different from when you started, like posting your music online to now, and how do you think you're going to continue to change as the future goes on?
I mean, you can like hear it in my music. There's just like a lot of like.
Well, maybe. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt you.
It'll add on to what you're saying, but you can hear it in my music. Like it's very like a lot of heightened emotion and anger and sadness, and I feel like I've I mean, ever since I released the album, it felt like a lot of those emotions like kind of went away because it's almost like I just said it to everybody. I just told everybody what the fuck is going on, what I'm going through, and it's like after that, it just felt like I've just gotten better at like. It's just as far as like an emotionally intelligent person, I've just gotten better at dealing with that and like, and also just like facing like just having no like expectations. Like you don't know what's like gonna happen. So like, especially with like playing live or trying to work on something, it doesn't like, you don't like it at first or something. Like you just have to have no expectations. It's like, it is what it is in the moment. Like I had like a complete, like my equipment was just like not working when I was at like this one show. I was really lucky to have like the sound person who was super understanding. Shout out Eleanor from Reno. Eleanor Burke makes sick music too. But yeah, she just like, I fucking was just trying to like set up my stuff. It wasn't working as far as like how my vocals weren't running through at all. And like, I had like effects on it and I wanted to do that. And it ended up just not working. And like, I just like completely was just like, okay, I'm not going to play. Like, I'm just done. Like, I just ran off. And then like, it was too stressful and it had all this pressure on me. Everyone was waiting. And then, yeah, like Eleanor and like a bunch of other people, just at this Reno show that was super dope. It was like this big rave. And like, I really did, I was like, I had high expectations for it, but it's like, they're like, it's fine. Like your music's playing off the computer, like your vocals aren't working. I don't know why, but we have a phone and it's going to run through the PA. Might not have all the effects that you want to mess with or whatever, but like, it's all you got. Yeah. Like, so, and like, dude, works, like, bro. You came out here, like, you should play, like, you got this. Like, everyone is excited. Nobody's gonna, like, judge you. Like, and I did it. And, like, even if I, like, felt like it wasn't as what I wanted, it was, like, at the end of the day, I made so many, like, connections that night just by actually just being, like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna, like, it might not be, like, what I want completely, but, like, I can't always get what I want. It's just, like, like, and what I got out of that was just like, I got to perform in the best way I could. And yeah, just like ever since then, like I've made so many friends from that area and like so many people who support my music and like follow it now just because of that, because there's so many people, there's like over like 200 people there. So a lot of that's why there's so much pressure. There's like so many people and like, yeah. And
it's like, I kind of got to do something.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, and just like, yeah, you just gotta like push through that those trials and tribulations or whatever. Like there's gonna be roadblocks.
And every adversity is an opportunity for growth, man.
Yeah.
For real.
And yeah, come better prepared next time. At the end of the day, it was my fault because I didn't really test it out. I just kind of like set it up and on my computer. I didn't really try it. Didn't do a practice run. I just like was like, oh yeah, that's gonna work because it worked before. But
hey, bro, you took an L, a lesson.
Yeah, that's true. That's
hey,
good.
Bro, that's how winners win, bro. Seriously, you have to take L's. I don't mean losses, man. That's all about lessons, baby.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, the reason why I wanted to ask that question, bro, is because, okay, so from a third party perspective, I mean, dude, I've like literally, we've been best friends for all this time. That there's the whole timeline of what you're talking about. I've been there for most of it. Wasn't in Reno, but like, I know what you're talking about. Dude, I've seen you go from super quiet, and we talked about it today, even over Instagram or whatever, about, you were telling me how you went to this music class and you were the most outspoken person there. That wasn't you even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Even in the last like 2 years, you've gone from like hella quiet, very much more anxious than, I mean, I know that anxiety is still like a prevalent thing probably in your life, but there's more outlets to handle that. And I've definitely seen you grow as a person, not just because you've gone older, but just because of all the different things that you've made yourself do, literally. And it's awesome, dude. I don't think that you would have put on your own show 2 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever. It would have been like, oh, who's going to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
no, yeah, awesome. It's like dropping that, it's really just like, because people think about like people who have anxiety or who are shy or quiet, like as some people who, and I'm not saying this is all the time, but in my case, it's like, it's dropping that ego. It came to a point where it's like, I don't care like what people think of me, or like, I don't have, like, it's just like, really, like, there's people who have egos, big egos, who are loud, and there's people who have big egos that are like quiet, and like they just like, because they're like, oh, I stiff, and like I need to like, it's like I don't want to like do that because that's cringy or lame or whatever, or like and stuff like that, and it's just like, and just drop that, like that notion that like somehow what you're gonna do is like everybody's gonna care and make fun of you.
Nobody cares, bro. They're worried about themselves, dude.
And, like, it's so funny because it's like the sad truth for people who have egos is that nobody gives a fuck. But also the sad truth, or the good truth is that nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, because that's a good, like, thank God nobody gives a fuck,
dude,
bro.
Seriously, bro. Oh my God, dude. I mean, really though, it once you realize that, well, and hopefully you have the privilege of having people in your life that love you for who you are, and they make that known. If you do have that, lean on that. Literally, if you have two people that love you, who cares what the world thinks? They don't love you, bro. Like, literally. And bro, Solar changed my life by telling me this. He was, I don't know what we were talking about and what my response was or why we had brought it up. And I'm not going to make something up, but he told me this. He was like, bro, I feel like when you are just your weird self, people actually appreciate that more than you trying to be normal. Because what the hell is normal? There is no normal. It's just like whatever social normality is. It's just like, oh, be polite and, don't do anything.
Yeah. No, it's like, like the worst compliment to ever receive is for someone to be like, oh yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, or
it's just like
pretty normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I feel like I've said that about people, but
yeah, no, but it's like what it's like, like what do you want people to know you as? Like, it's like,
for real, people will appreciate you more if you just act yourself, because that's what weeds out the people who judge too. You instantly just weeded out everyone. Everyone who's going to judge you, they're going to judge you. Who cares? They're going to judge you. They're not really going to talk to you. They're going to talk behind your back. And the people that like that authenticity, they're going to be like, dude, that guy's cool. I want to get to know him more.
And you can never be like really too sure of what people think at all. Like you don't know. And like, literally, I saw this like really it was on David Cho's show. It was like what's his name, Will Arnett, the guy who does BoJack. And he's like, I just remember when I was like in high school, like I was like dressing up and I felt so cool that day. And then suddenly this guy, like, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, cool guy. And it completely just crushed me. And then they like reenact it with David and him reenact it. And then he's like, so like, I want you to like do it how you would react now. And then like, he's like, so David's like, goes up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, cool guy?" And then he's like, "It's like nothing, loser. What's up with you?" And then David's like, "Whoa, dude, like, I actually thought you were a cool guy." Like, it's like, you don't know what people are thinking. Like, he meant that you were a cool guy. Like, yeah, exactly. Like,
so funny, bro.
It wasn't sarcastic. It was just like, you're a cool guy.
I love that, bro. I love that. It's just, bro, I seriously, I can't. I'll give you an example from today. And this is how I am constantly. Like, I dropped me caring about, like, I'm kind of weird on these shows. Like, I literally am just being myself, completely myself. I'm way weirder off camera, but that I'm trying to be a little bit professional, make it look good. But and if you're in the Mi5 chat, you'll see more of that. And especially if you talk to me on a Zoom call for more than an hour, you know, if we have multiple of those, you'll definitely see that.
It gets freaky.
Yeah, in person, you're gonna be like, okay, do I want to be here? No, I'm kidding.
But like, bro, I was helping Sharon with her cleaning business today, and I was mopping the bathroom floor, right? And I'm mopping the floor. You know, I didn't have a wet floor sign, and I was like joking. I was like, "Hey, bro, make sure you don't slip." Wink, wink. Like, you know, like just make sure. I'm gonna have to call OSHA. You know, I'm just like, because I didn't have a wet floor sign, and also I don't want to like get Carvana in trouble because I literally am not on payroll for anybody. Like, I don't have a job. I'm literally just helping someone with their biz. And so if somebody gets hurt on my behalf or because of me, it's going to be they're going to be responsible. Yeah. I don't want that, right? And so I'm trying to do things, you know, by the rule book. And I was like, "Hey, bro, don't slip," you know. But like, I was kind of joking. And he was like, "Oh, okay. Like, I don't see a floor, bro. I might have to make that workers' comp call." And I was like, "Here, hold on 1 second. I'll be the sign." I just like stood there like this. I was like, "Do not slip." Everyone there was like 5 dudes in the bathroom. Everyone starts dying laughing. That's funny, bro. Yeah. Like, but like, that's also hella weird at the same time. But it's funny, and I knew it was gonna be funny. Yeah. But like, I would have done that probably anywhere because it's just like, that's just what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do that. That's how. Literally, like, there's 3 things. This is like my definition of the meaning of life. Full expression of self. Like, not suppressing yourself as a human at all. You know, adding value to other people's lives, finding some way to do that on a daily basis, and learning and growing. Those 3 things, that's literally what life on earth is about. Like, people are like, love. Okay, well, that fits under the category of adding value to somebody. And also fully expressing yourself, you know? And also learning and growing. It's like all the things that people will try to be like, "Well, what about this?" I'm like, well, that fits in this category. Everything about the meaning of life circles around those 3 things. And like, it's just perfect. I need to make some diagram or something. Like, when I'm going to speak about it on stages. Trust, it's amazing. But yeah, so all right, man. Well, we've been talking for like an hour. Yeah. And so I think it's a good time to kind of take it to a close here. And I just want to thank everyone for being on. If you watched for the whole time, you're a freaking amazing person. Thank you very much. And yeah, you know, this was very different from the shows that we've done previously and the shows that we'll probably do in the future. But I mean, this is a down to earth conversation between 2 very good friends.
Yeah, we can smell each other. It's really it's real. It's getting real.
I'm ending this for a reason. But yeah, so you know, thanks for being here. If you showed up for 12 minutes, you're probably not on here still, but hey, you got to see the end part, which was pretty deep. So yeah. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you've had a wonderful Tuesday, and I hope that it continues to be a great Tuesday. Have a happy and successful rest of your night.